You know what? MK party. Hi, yeah. We don't want those people. Hi, those people must not govern the country. Hey, why is the minority telling us what to do? Why shouldn't the majority rule and tell the minority what to do? Why is the minority telling us what's not good, what's good and what's not good for us? Here's the question, guys. You can't have the minority dictating which political party is good when where they stay, they don't treat black people well. I always say, go to Western Cape where DA is governing. Look at the place. You know, I saw pictures today. Somebody showed me pictures where the DA, I think it was once on the media, DA built toilets outside. People were toileting outside like monkeys, like baboons, because that's how they believe we are. Today you want to bring DA into power, or today these white people are telling us what's good and what's bad for us. During apartheid, they never had interest of black people. Why now? They are saying today, hi, MK party, hi, we don't want that. They are more dangerous than EFF. You know why? I'm gonna show you the secret why they don't feel comfortable around around EMK party. It is because of the policies that EMK party has adopted. Now I'm gonna show you this. When MK party said we need to change the constitution. Here's the big secret. What is it that white people has in the constitution that protects their interest? I'll give you a few seconds to think about it. What is it that is in the constitution that keeps the white supremacy in power, that protect that? I'll show you that. Just think about it. Don't cheat. Think about what is it that they are afraid if the constitution gets changed, they will lose the most. I'm going to show you shortly. You know what? There's one thing as well that I know. It's very important. If you are not yet subscribed, what are you waiting for? Come on, good people, because to subscribe it is free, to like the video it is free, to comment in the comment section below it is free of charge, to click the notification bell it is free of charge, to share this video it is free of charge, to watch this video until the end it is free of charge. Also, good people, come on, to watch the ads it's free of charge, and that's how you financially contribute to this YouTube channel. Speaking about financially contribution to the channel, you can become a member of this YouTube channel from as little as 20 Rand a month. You can also use the super thanks button. In case you don't want to do that, guys, there is a way where you can use my media company banking details to donate to the channel, and you know what I'm saying, we'll bring you more, and also guys want to buy more equipment. So the power is in your hands. Please do the honorable thing as we proceed. Okay, we're gonna play the video Rob Haysoff, and I'm gonna play the video at DA. If you listen to it, DA and Rob Haysoff, they're speaking the same language. Also Ramdola, they are very comfortable around Ramdola. Why are people comfortable around Ramdola? Why are Rob Haysoff comfortable around Palapala? Why is DA feeling more comfortable around Palapala? It should be a cause for concern. You should be concerned about that. There's something that I want you to do. Now, before I proceed, take a look at what Rob Haysoff said about MK Party. I'm going to show you what DA said, but take a look at what Rob Haysoff said here.
To me, the most worrying development, the scariest development is MK. And what I'd like to say up front, in my view, MK is a bigger threat to this country, to stability, to human ingenuity and economic freedom than the EFF. I almost think,
Rob. No, seriously.
I almost think the EFF are opportunistic and the MK are the real threat.
Here is a shocking reason why the DA, who represent the interest of minority, and they are very clear on their mandate. Rob Haysoff, who represent the interest of the minority, and is very clear on his mandate. Here is why they don't want Jacob Zuma. Now, before I give you the latest one, do you remember when Jacob Zuma was still the president of the ANC? He has been emphasizing on the fact that there must be radical transformation, radical economical transformation, right? That's one. He has been speaking about the issue of land, that it needs to be returned back to rightful owners. Do you remember Jacob Zuma saying that whilst he was in parliament? He spoke about that, but the ANC was no local. You remember that Mbeki even wrote thesis after thesis about that, saying what Zuma is saying, it's not a ANC constitution. Do you remember that? So the ANC decided that they're not going to adopt what President Zuma was saying then. President Zuma was saying, let's change the constitution and take the land back to the rightful owners. The ANC says, nope. Mbeki wrote quite a number of books saying, no, you cannot do this. What? Now, it then explained why these people fear Jacob Zuma being in power again. And you must notice these white people that are so against Jacob Zuma being in power. Why? What is it that they want to protect? Even the DA publicly said this.
Like you, I am a South African first. The people who make up the DA are South Africans first. And we have learned from the past 30 years the devastating consequences when party interests are put before the national interest. So, if you are anxious or scared about what South Africa will look like following these unprecedented election results, I want to reassure you. I too am a father to 3 young daughters. And like millions of South Africans, I don't want them to grow up in a country run by a party like MK that wants to abolish the constitution, which wants to subvert the judiciary, and that plans to expropriate private property and nationalize the Reserve Bank. These are the things contained in the manifestos of the EFF and MK, and they amount to an all-out assault on the constitution of our country. They will cause untold unemployment, misery, hardship and hunger for millions of our people. And allowing this to just happen will set South Africa's flag and constitution on fire, just as the DA warned during the course of the election. This will signal the end of the South African dream that we all shared in 1994, and for which many, many people paid the ultimate sacrifice to see come to reality. I want to assure you that the DA will not give up on our Constitution or for a country that belongs to all who live in it, united in our diversity.
If at this moment you did not figure it out, you will never. Let me help you and tell you why. If you check, look, what is in the Constitution is the protection of the white supremacy. Now I'm going to explain this. There are 3 things that are happening in this country. I'll make an example about a few things, right? Number 1, the issue of land. It is protected in the Constitution. So when you hear Jacob Zuma saying, let's change the Constitution, if you change the Constitution that protects them, it simply means they will lose what sustained their white supremacy. Hence, DA cheated, and we don't know where they got the vote because they want to get to power, and DA has said it. They don't want Jacob Zuma and EFF anywhere near this power thing, right? They don't want those political parties, right? Why? For the fact that they are so eager to remove those 2 political parties. Now they can compromise for EFF but not MK party. Why? Because this issue of the land, if you change the constitution, you allow the land to be taken back to the rightful owners. They now have to work for black people, and they are not prepared to be slaves of black people because they don't understand what is going to happen to them. Even these countries that they always thought they were going to go back to, about Australia, people are saying, hey, let them stay wherever they are. We don't want them here. Only the rich of the richest will have access to foreign countries. But even then, they will no longer have, they will lose a lot of things. The number 2 issue here is, if you change the constitution, right now, ESCOM is run by white people. When you have load shedding, you must know that load shedding is proudly produced by white people in this country. Why? The issue of coal and everything that is supplied at ESCOM, whose companies supplies that? It's white companies. Black people compete for only less than 10% of ESCOM economy. 90% is in the hands of white people. And what they have what we call it an evergreen contract, where they don't need to bid to get those tenders. They will forever benefit from there. Let me remind you. So if you change the constitution, you are forcing them to be equal with black people. And that's not what they are prepared to have. That's one. You'll remember if you go back to companies such as SAA. Dumiani gets there and realize that, there are white people's companies that do not bid for tender. They just operate like that forever. Guess what happened to Dumian today? She's going up and down. And have you noticed that DA, they're very good in using the law? That's another thing. But I will come back to this one. So if you change the constitution, now you make them equal. They have to bid equal with black people. You are removing their source of power, source of income. And they are not prepared for that. Let's go back to something that I said, that they are protected. They protect themselves in this thing. The value chain. Do you know that in South Africa, if you're starting, like if BMW wants to go to South Africa, do you know that they need to start somewhere? They can't just get into South Africa fair and square. They need to start somewhere, certain families first. That has been done deliberately. So if you are going to create a situation where you have a constitution that says everybody must be equal, it is not what these people are willing to compromise for. Right now, they are fighting with their last breath because they can see that it is going there. So when they say they don't want Jacob Zuma because it's bad for this country, have you noticed, let me remind you, have you noticed also one person that speaks almost the same language with these white people? Have you noticed who's that? Former public protector says, hi, MK Party is not good for the country. Hi, MK Party this. And mind you, she's the only black lady she's the only black lady who has occupied serious position in this country, who has been accused of being a Stellenbosch Makoti by the EFF. Now, how is it that it coincides with the agenda from that side? She's saying no MK Party. She's not says mom about EFF, but you know what I'm saying? She discredit a coalition with DA, but she says no, it's good. How is it that she agrees, Tulima Donsela agree with this, but she's black and you have all these black people saying no? A coalition with EDA is a coalition with that's going to compromise this country. We fought and we took power from DA. We can't go in bed with DA, never. And 80% of South Africa, according to research, does not want a coalition with a coalition between ANC and DA, and they know that. The question is, what has changed? Why are these people fighting as hard as they do now? The secret is very simple. They need to maintain their status. The status of being bosses, the status of making the decisions. So if you change the constitution, you remove their status, they become equal to anybody else. So it means that now even a black person can tell them what to do, hire them, and tell them whatever. They're not prepared to have that. No. They need to maintain their status. They need to be the bosses. We can't have a fair treatment, because if you are saying you don't want the constitution to change so that we can be fair, what's the problem with that? Shows that they don't want equality. Talking about equality, have you noticed the banks? They manipulated the rand so that Zuma can look bad. Do you notice that even in these elections, the banks were involved? Why are banks so concerned about Zuma coming back to power? Same thing. So, we must be vigilant